October 13th, 2015. The Firearms Eligibility License for Pennsylvania. Senate Bill 1029 for the 2015-2016 calendar year. Prime sponsor, Senator Art Haywood out of Philadelphia. The bill proposed on October 9th, 2015 is a 20-page bill in length. I read through the bill a few times, and it is not a difficult read. I would put it between easy and medium as far as the reading goes. A lot of it is pretty clear. The only part where a person might get confused is when the bill reverts back to other laws and makes for changes in those laws, and there's a specific reason for that. The bill seems to paint itself into many corners legally, and to get itself out of those corners, what it does is it calls out other laws, and it calls out for changes in the language of those laws and changes in the law itself so that this can take over. And typically when you have a bill like this, it's very difficult for that bill to be passed. As is, they'll more than likely have to strip a lot of this stuff out if the bill, even sees the light of day, which I would assume that it wouldn't, since it's Pennsylvania and this is an extreme gun control law. The bill creates a firearms eligibility license that a law-abiding citizen would have to apply for. It is a 5-year license and may be extended within 60 days of expiration. The license is $50 and $35 for renewal. Built into those charges are different laws for funding, where that funding will come from, where the funds will go. It's basically broken down so that these things are paid with the fees, and then what's left over goes to the law enforcement office. The license itself calls for different things. Basically, what it calls for is a perfect background check, and also mentioned in the bill would be mental health levers would be added in there, and I'm not sure where they're going to get this information or data from. I'm assuming it's built on the assumption that we would get some form of universal background check passed in this country. So it's kind of leveraging that. So that's another open-ended question you get after reading this bill, and there are many. The application is not specified in the bill. It gives the state police control over that. It does set a one-page guideline that if the information can't be seated on one page, that would not be valid. So they would have to squeeze all of the questions they want to ask on one page. There are some extensions available for deployed armed force members, and it is 90 days after deployment you can renew. So if you're deployed and your license expires, when you get back to the States, you have 90 days from that date to renew your license. The license can be revoked at any time, which causes a problem for me, that it gives the state police unlimited control over your Second Amendment rights in Pennsylvania. The bill also requires training hours, 16 training hours on the subjects of the Commonwealth's firearms law, home firearms safety, and firearms operations. Whenever I look at a gun control bill, I look for a few things. I look for how this is going to affect people that are good and how this is going to affect people that are evil. And what does this bill target? And reading over this bill, it is almost completely obvious after maybe the first 10 lines in the bill that this bill is going after someone that does not typically break the law, is not a violent criminal. This bill is 100% about control of firearms in Pennsylvania and nothing else. The senator, Art Haywood, goes to speak about how he wants to be a leader on gun control in Pennsylvania, but he also mentions that he wants to keep the children safe and, keep people safe and to stop, violent crimes using firearms. But this law will do none of the above. This law is all about controlling you. If you are a person who lives a life, has a family, works, has collateral that can be leveraged against you, this bill is for you. It is designed to control you. Criminals don't know about this bill. Criminals don't care about this bill. It will not stop them from getting firearms. What this bill will do is it will alienate this state. It will alienate the people of this state from the other states around us. It will be following the trends of New York State, where commerce won't really be possible within that industry. And it really opens up a lot, it opens up a lot of questions. For example, if I go out of state and I legally purchase a rifle and have that rifle legally transferred to me, when I go back home to Pennsylvania, I am now a felon because I am in illegal possession of a firearm that I am legally allowed to have under federal law. I can own that firearm. You can pass a background check. You can purchase that rifle. But when you go to Pennsylvania, you're now a felon under the laws in Pennsylvania if this were to pass. So you're now a felon. You're not a criminal. You've never had a previous record. You've never engaged in any violent crime. But because you made a decision to purchase something to either go hunting with, protect your family with, or to just sport shoot, you're now a felon under the law, and now you're going to be treated like any other violent criminal in this country. And this bill is supposed to help you. Art Haywood has a number of Senate bills currently proposed around gun control. A lot of the bills before this one seem to be encompassed into this particular bill, 1029. It looks to increase the lists of crimes that a prohibited person would be disqualified under. It looks to upgrade the penalties for persons violating these firearms laws, and it looks to turn basically misdemeanors into felonies and felonies into harsher felonies. The problem I have with that is it does not call out for minimum sentencing for violent criminals. It doesn't ban or restrict the DAs or ADAs from creating plea deals with repeat violent criminals. So that right there is what I look for when it comes to these gun control bills. Is it to stop criminals or is it to control the law-abiding public? And this bill hits all of the levers that I have in my mind for a bill that has nothing to do with stopping, restricting, controlling criminals, but everything to do with stopping, controlling, and restricting law-abiding citizens. You can no longer gift a firearm to your wife unless she goes through the process of getting a license that allows her to go through the process of purchasing a weapon. It is a communist system. He does not have the right to decide whether or not you can take part in an amendment or the Constitution itself. If a group of criminals come together with the plans of invading your home, stealing your possessions, harming people in your family, sexually assaulting female members of your family, there is no handgun license that is going to stop them from getting weapons. They will buy them off of the streets. They will steal them. In today and age, with the technology that we have, they can create, build, manufacture their own weapons and use those. So why would you want to sign up for a bill that restricts you completely but does nothing for the criminal element? This bill is pathetic and it needs to be reported on, and the people responsible for creating this bill need to be put on Front Street so that you can see the people that are not looking out for your best interests. This bill is a complete violation of the Pennsylvania Constitution and a complete violation of the United States Constitution. Thank you for watching.